Hello, it's a beautiful, beautiful morning, a Tuesday morning, the 2nd of August, and I want to tell you that we're excited to be back here again today. Tuesdays usually tell you that the week is in full swing and work has started again. Of course, students are at home on holiday. Those who are writing NECO across the Federation are still very much around. So we're looking at a situation where parents now have the time to focus on work at the same time. Must not forget that their children are at home, and because their children are at home, they need to do everything possible to keep them safe and occupied during the season. So if you're parents, you have kids at home, this is not the time to say thank God they're not going to school and they're just at home and you just think you can abandon them to a help or to somebody. Just make sure you get deeply involved in the process of keeping them there. Get them engaged, discuss what they will be doing during the holiday. Make sure you are very much involved. Make sure you are not taking anything for granted at a critical time like this. Is very extremely important for every parent to do that. Don't forget that child trafficking, child molestation, sexual abuse of the minor, and all of these negative things are on the rise. And you do not want your child to benefit or to, let me not use the word benefit, to suffer any of these issues. That's why you as a parent must pay adequate attention to getting sure or making sure that these children are kept safe during this period. My name is Tomisi, and this is the Bumper Breakfast. Of course, we inform you, we educate you, we'll let you know what's been happening across Nigeria, and we'll share some of our perspective with you. For those who missed the news, we get to share with you some of those top stories that you didn't get to see yesterday during the day. So yes, so many things are still happening across Nigeria. All right, this morning I'd like to share with you the stories that made the front page of the papers, and right after that we'll go into our conversation with our guests in the studio. I have the Punch newspaper where I want to begin from this morning. The Punch begins with police strategize, NSCDC warns as terrorists infiltrate the south. Lagos CP area, tactical commanders hold emergency meeting call for vigilance. FRSC declares war on unregistered vehicles, motorcycles. Arawa youth demand NSA sacking. 7,222 killed, 3,823 abducted in 7 months. Amotekun advises residents. Buhari lacks ability to tackle insecurity. Katsina NNPP chairman. Health workers fault non-payment of new hazard allowance. You have Pantami rejects new tax on calls data. Legal tussle may threaten multi-billion-dollar Eco-Atlantic City project. Lagos residents lynch mentally ill, allege invasion of property. We didn't increase petrol price. Marketers did. That's coming from the federal government. After 168 days, strike also issues a 4-week extension. Wike PDP BOT meets Wednesday plans peace panel. Northwest Southwest leaders INEC registers 96.2 million. Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Rivers, Katsina top 31 other states. Youths make up 71% of new voters. Women outnumber the men. And federal government plans 712 billion mortgage to fund 100,000 houses. The Guardian newspaper, Nigeria may seen as BRICS move to cut Western domination. Country on waiting list to join the BRICS, a block of 5 major economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Accession talks may have no comments, says diplomat. Country will not meet economic criteria. Experts insist. 25 killed in Plateau within 24 hours. We've complied with Senate order on pay-per-view, says Moplex TV boss. Federal government insists on price control amid 12 new oil regulations. Confusion has our communication ministry rejects federal government's 5% excise duty on the sector. Osho PDP asks court to stop OSIEC from conducting council poll before Oyetola's exit. And PDP, Wike demands IU's removal single term for Atiku. BOT meets tomorrow. More on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. ASU extends a 168-day strike by 4 weeks. Parents, students kick. We don't trust you again. Parents tell ASU. Nance wants education minister sacked. Buhari orders Naseni to revolutionize farming in Nigeria. PDP BOT meets tomorrow over Atiku Wike rift. Federal government still subsidizing petrol price, blames marketers for hike. 50 Fed abducted in Kaduna, 10 in Taraba and Bauchi. UBA announces new group managing director executive board appointment. As you have first grains ship leaves Ukraine and the Russia deal. Gani Adams alarm how we are dealing with security threats. Police are Motekon hunters. Special report. As FCT urban mass transit system collapses, commuters groan under difficult conditions. All right, you have the next one, the Nation newspaper. Northwest Southwest lead in voter registration, 96,303,303,016 for 2023 polls. Now let's look at the figures. Okay, we'll take a look at what we're discussing. Knocks for federal government, ASU over extension of strike. UBA names Alawuba. GMD elevates directors. Rumpos over planned conduct of council poll in Oshu. OPEC Sec Gen gaze resumes. Police beef up security in Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti. PDP BOT to mediate in Atiku Wike face of Kaduna residents flee. Pardon me, as government abduct over 50. Don Carmel Montecano is released. IPOP tells Abuja-based Southeast politicians explains surge in crime. Minister challenges security agencies. Those are the stories that made the front page of the papers this morning. Let's take a look at what happened at the Jigibola initiative yesterday. The Jigibola initiative started when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor of Lagos. A lot of people who have eye challenge were not able to get themselves treated or get themselves eyeglasses were attended to a couple of years ago. Now that project, almost 20 years down the line, is still very much in the works, as the wife of the governor of Lagos State, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, yesterday was there physically to make sure that people who needed to be treated and of course examined for all forms of eye issues were attended to. So Jigibola still very much here. Let's listen to the First Lady and of course watch how some of the people participated who also benefited from the scheme.
It's very important that for our people to be top-notch with their health. That a healthy nation is a blessed nation, is a nation that can make the country more productive. So if you're not healthy, it's difficult for you to perform your civic rights, your basic functions in life. So that's why I think it's very important that health is wealth. Prevention is better than cure. We have brought the health to the people now. We're not waiting for them to get sick before they come to the hospitals. It's very important that they check themselves. Any opportunity they have, whether it's free, whether it's another another private people that are doing free health, free screenings, that they should take advantage of that and not play with their health at all.
Welcome back. We'll take a break now, a commercial one. When we come back, you get to meet our guests, and of course, the conversation begins on the bumper breakfast this morning.
A world of free entertainment awaits you. Anywhere, anytime, at the click of a button. A world where everyone is included. A world without subscriptions. A world where entertainment lives in your pocket, on your couch, and even in multiple places at once. This is a world of premium free. Why pay? Just watch.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Joining us on the table this morning is Olayinka Ola Daniels, a lawyer and public affairs analyst. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Thomason. Good morning, Father.
How is Nigeria treating you?
Well, I'm treating Nigeria well. Good morning, viewers.
Right, I have Tolani Ojuri here this morning, disability advocate, and of course, a serial entrepreneur. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Thomason. And good morning, viewers at home.
All right, let's begin our conversation this morning with something that interests every single person here. The whole of Africa, the West Africa, pardon me, has about 75, a million registered voters, and that's talking about countries like Ghana, Republic of Benin, Togo, Uganda, Algeria, blah, 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 all these countries. Put them together, they have just about 75 million voters. As a matter of fact, before this new registration started, Nigeria had more voters than all of the other West African countries put together. Now the 2023 elections is fast approaching, and Nigerians have decided to come out in mass, like we've been announcing, to register. Now INEC has announced about 96,303,016 voters registered for the 2023 polls. Yet, Nigerians are asking again for extension for the voter registration.
Well, Nigerian asking for extension, well, it's not out of place. Unfortunately, my challenge with that, INEC needs to plan.
For the election itself?
For the election. For the general election, they need to plan. And this is not, we are the same people that will come and complain every time that, oh, it didn't work there, or that it not. So they need to work, look at all the polling units, whether they need to have more polling units, whether so we need to help them plan. We've been on this registration for years. In fact, I went through a particular local government on Sunday. I saw the crowd and I'm like, where have these people been? Now, these are not 18. These are not teenagers. These are not these are not people that are. I mean, that just became 18.
Exactly. So we're not talking about.
No, we're not talking about the new people.
Did you see that they are actually elderly people?
Yes. Look,
so a lot of people have been saying people who came out are youths.
Probably 95% of the people that I saw that day on Sunday
were not 18-year-olds.
They were elderly people. They were not 18-year-olds in any way. So what happened? Why are we like this as a people with this lackadaisical attitude of, well, yeah, I don't care. Then did I mean it? Like personally, as a person, I don't like when you put me under pressure.
For anything.
For anything.
And I don't think anybody does.
I give you enough notice, and I tell you beforehand, let's do this. Let's do this. I plan my life. Even in my house, I tell them in my home, I plan. So, madam or children, this, oh yeah, tell me this. I plan. So that I can work with
And
whatever
manage
whatever not after I have told you. Because I do this, that's why I'm saying I want to bring it to the public. When I have done all my best to make sure that you do all that on time, then when I now discover that you did not, probably when we need to do it, that is when you are coming up. I shut the door and I move on. Yeah, I shut the door. I don't care what anybody says. I shut the door because I know that I have given you enough time. I have reminded you. So at this point, I make every time, how many times they extended like how many times? Not twice.
No, for this one.
For this one, yeah. Before this year, before they started extending.
Registration was on all through last year. Was on all through last year.
I remember even there was a time on this same table,
said they should
we appealed to people.
Yes.
Go. So I don't know what they were doing. In fact, I know there are some states that even give public holidays for you to go and register. So then on Sunday, there was so much crowd, and now you are asking INEC to extend. But if it doesn't work, then all of you come out on INEC to say they are useless. They don't know what they are doing. They are clueless and all that. But people need to plan. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not advocating for people to be disenfranchised, of their right to vote, to get registered and vote. But something we have to just move on. We have to be serious. We need to tell the world that we are ready for this whole thing. And that, you see, I tell people, whatever we see up there, the leaders we talk about every day, those leaders were picked among us. They didn't come from from Pluto. They didn't come from Jupiter. They came from this same country, this same Nigeria. So whatever we see is as a result of the people here. And that is what happens. They've told you severally, register it. You were not going there. In fact, INEC told us at some point, about 20 million cards were not picked. People didn't go for their cards. Then the next thing, you put all the blames on INEC. No. That is the height of irresponsibility on our part as a people.
You see, we announced, we canvassed, we told a lot of people that they should go and register. As a matter of fact, we announced locations where they could register. And I wouldn't say that MITV was the only media organization doing that. Everybody across board was calling for it. Apart from that, INEC, in conjunction with USAID, Yaga Africa, and some other organizations, went around the country organizing different, concerts and all that to make sure more people register. Now, the registration was not restricted to young people. It was open for everybody. Yeah. And they tried to attract people with everything else that they could. Still, in the South, people are asking for more time. In our backyard, Ogun State, people are asking for more time. Here in Lagos, on social media, INEC is one of the most abused agency of government. And everybody is saying, INEC didn't do, INEC didn't say, INEC didn't this, INEC didn't that. The question is, INEC employed people for this registration exercise. Every time they extend, their budget also expands. Budgets which they never planned for. They start spending money they never budgeted for. But yet, they could manage it. They kept extending it for Nigerians to register. When exactly will Nigerians learn that we don't do things at the last minute? We do it with proper preparation.
Until their fingers get clipped at the door, that's when they learn. Because you remember that we had the same scenario during the NIM registration. Yeah. Until people's lines got clipped. Yes, that was when. And we made all of the noise, and people like Olarika said they were going to court.
It is just our line from outgoing calls.
The initial one. before it was extended, please.
And remember that
even when it was extended,
the NIMT was extended
a
number of times. It was extended several times. So we are who we are. We are used to like this approach to things. Maybe if the government had told Nigerians like 6 months ago that if you don't register for your PVC, you won't have your phone lines, that would have prompted, the legal people will have come to say, no, voting is their constitutional right.
But I trust my brother.
People now that people now realize that they might not be able to vote for the candidates they want. Now that dawned on them that, oh, okay, I now have to. Then there are other forces from beneath that like you have to go and register if you want to benefit this. Benefit from this, benefit from that. It now dawned on them. But hey, this process, it was the NIMT was attached to the to your passport and some services of government. Yeah, that was the only time you see people going to local government to register for NIM. People, because they want to get their passports and their jams. But hey, we can't go on like this.
Really?
We can't go on like this because we can't keep blaming the government if we are not taking part. And this morning, I was talking to a man and he said, "Oh, the last time I took part in the election was 1993." Huh? And I asked him why.
Is he in Nigeria?
Yeah, he's in Nigeria.
Is he resident in Nigeria?
He lives here. And I asked him why. He said, "Well, they've got no business with government." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Really?
This place where you are running your business, you might be out of this place in the next 1 year. And he said, how? Like, the one government policy will get you out of here. So it's people, something just get.
Are you saying that some people wake up in the morning and decide not to participate at all?
Lots of
people.
So I know people who are campaigning on social media for candidates and promising heaven and hell. And there are people I know don't have voters card.
Yeah. I have a platform.
And then they are saying, we will shock you people. And I'm saying, you want to shock us.
How?
Please don't electrocute us. Because when you shock us, we expect you to have power. Where are you getting the power when you don't have a voter's card?
Well, yeah. Because elections is a numbers game. Yeah. So the people, if you go out to campaign in a particular local government or in an area, how many members do you have? How many people in the local government have got the voters card? Even forget about the structure. Not even saying I'm talking about the structures now. The eligible voters. How many do we have?
Okay, so
going by the crowd we are seeing on TV and on social media, it's like, oh my goodness, why?
So I want to look at the numbers now. Okay, so we have 96.3 million. We'll look at the breakdown later. Contesting or all registered for this election. In 2019, that was short of about, say about 11 million or 12 million people. So you have about 75 million that registered for voters card, add voters card as of 2019. The entire votes.
Not up to 30.
In 2019, let's even give them 32 plus void.
No. Void everything. I said not 30. I was involved.
So you see, 30 million voters of 75 million voters.
So that's less than half.
So that's even less than half, like you said, of 75 million. Now everybody has come out to register for voters card. What is the guarantee that the majority of these people will actually come out to vote? Because don't forget that the voters card itself is a form of identification. Don't you think it is time INEC or the federal government issues a policy that stops people from using their voters card as an identification card? Because that's why many people had it.
A lot of people are they're going for that voters card not because they want to vote, like you said. It's just for identification. And they feel that tomorrow, government may come up, like they'll say, okay, go and bring Lastra, go and bring that, go and bring that. The government may come up to say, oh, this is what they need for something, to maybe school some policies. So that is why some people are actually going for this voters card, not because they want to vote. I've heard people say all sorts. about getting these voters card, not because they want to vote. So now, well, I don't want to go into government. I just want to focus on our people.
Because
if we're going to go to government, we'll not address the issue. I like addressing the issue here. Now, if you're in Nigeria, and the reason why you're getting your voter's card is for the mode of identification, then you're doing the wrong thing. Because that's not the purpose of that voter's card. That voter's card, you see, you can use your name, you can use your driver license, you can use your international passport data page, whatever, for your identification. But maybe to them, they feel that the easiest is because, of course, they're not spending money to get their voter's card.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you spend money to get driver license, you spend money to get your international passport, your name and all that. But to this one, they know it's free. So they rather go.
I will shock you. Some people pay to 2,000 in one local government to get the voter's card.
Hold on. Okay, let me put it this way: the 2,000, because I remember when they were going through the name registration, and as at the time they said, okay, link it to this, and people had to register with name. So there was so much crowd everywhere. So for like my CDA, what we did, we got people from the officials. Okay, what we'll do? Come to this CDA. We'll foot the bills per head, whether it's 1,000, just to ease people of and the fear of, okay, they won't get it done, or there's so much crowd. Okay, come to this side. All of you come, just bring 1,000. So this is not government now. Don't forget, we are the one that we just want to make it easy for everybody. Okay, bring this 1,000 so that, okay, we buy what's it called? Refreshments, we put a canopy, we do this so that you make it easier for you. So this is not government. So when you go to that 2,000, you're talking about voters card now. It may not be an INEC arrangement and all that. It may just be people, community arrangement. So we have to
It wasn't even a community arrangement, it was a personal arrangement.
So like that. So it has nothing to do with government.
Has nothing to do with INEC.
So it's just an individual.
Somebody was just saying, sitting down somewhere saying, Mole buying facilitate voters card, they were going to 2,000. And some people were collecting and paying 2,000. And they put the money together, and then we will now lead them to the place. People were collecting. And then people just saw crowd and they were just registering people. But he had collected 2,000 naira. That's why the Holy Book says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. They did not know they did not have to pay for voters card. But let's look at the breakdown of the numbers this morning. For the Northwest, in 2019, there was 20,158,100. Now it's 22,672,373. Now let's look at the states in the Northwest. It's quite interesting. I like this kind of analysis because then you know exactly what everybody is talking about. They say people in the Northwest, Kano has a lot of votes. A lot of Nigerians do not know why Kano has a lot of votes. In Northwest Nigeria, you have states like Kano, you have Kaduna, you have Katsina, you have Jigawa, you have Kebbi, you have Sokoto. So these states have the largest number of registered voters across the Federation, always have had the largest number. So Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Zamfara, and Sokoto. 22,672,373. They had almost 2.5 million extra registrations. Now for the Southwest, they came third. Clap for you if you're from the Southwest. Southwest came third. 2 million extra as well. 16 million in 2019. 60,292,212, and now we had about 2,039,000. That's the breakdown on the screen. 2,039,979. You have 18 million now. 332,191 people who have registered for the permanent voters card in the Southwest. The Southwest simply divides along this way. The Southwest is Osun, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, and Lagos. Those are the states in Southwest Nigeria. Right. Moving to the next one, we have the North Central coming second on the list. Clap for the North Central. They had 13 million. I don't know why everybody was just 2 million plus people, 2 million plus people. But anyway, the North Central had only 13,366,070 registered voters, before. But now they have 2,314,000 extra votes. What it means is now the North Central comes at 15,680,438. 2 million extra people have registered as well. Okay. Sorry, please. All right, we have the next one at South. I like South. All right, Northwest Nigeria, the states in the Northwest Nigeria, because many people would say that they're not sure, North Central rather. North Central, it's not. See, let me tell you what North Central is. North Central is Niger, Plateau, FCT, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, and Nasarawa. That's another 7 places coming together to form the North Central. South is Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Rivers, Edo, Delta. South, 12,841,279 voters in 2019. Now you have them at 15 million. They had more votes. That's more registered voters. Fantastic. 15,299,374. As a matter of fact, the South recorded a second number of highest registrations for the season. Northeast, 11 million people. 11,282,93 in 2019 now has come up to just 12 million, so 1.5 million new registered voters. 12,820,363. Southeast, 10,054,057,130. Now 1.4 million extra registered voters. 11,498,277. States in the Southeast, you have Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Imo, making up the Southeast. The question is, the numbers are still tilted in a certain direction. So if we do the quick mathematics here, Northwest has 22, North Central has 15, Northeast has 12. If you put all of that together and you compare it with what we have in the South, North versus South, the gap is still huge. As a matter of fact, nobody closed the gap that existed in 2019. The gap is more now. That's what it means. So they have succeeded in adding to what they add. Northwest has 4 million extra votes above every other person. The North Central has about 400,000 extra votes above the other ones in that category, and they still had more people register. So we have still not closed the gap. Now when elections come and people vote, they will say younger people, teenagers, underage are voting in Kano. Wasn't this an opportunity for all of us to close the gap? To get more people out there?
You see, I said we're going to be deceiving ourselves. There's no how we will close the gap in the North. Why? How many local government do we have in South? Now, let's start from there. Let's check the number of local government we have in the South and the local government we have in the North.
Okay.
Now, you're going to be sincere with yourself and being objective with yourself, if you look at the numbers, you will see that there's a massive difference between the North and the South as to the local government. If Katsina, Kebbi, and which other state came up from Kano, and as at the time they were with Kano probably was 40-something local government, 45 or thereabout local government. By the time these people were leaving to become states, Kano still retained the same local government we are talking about. So then, if a local government comes to say, this is our population, or this is the registered voters in a particular local government, how do you want to say no to that? No, what is the number of your own local? So, reason why everybody will always say that there is no how anybody will win election in this country without those people. And that is what politicians sees. And that is the calculation of the politicians, particularly this one that people are, bothering themselves and, getting distracted with religion, sentiments, Muslim, Christian. An average politician is looking at on how to win an election. We just look at the statistics now. Look at the number from the northeast, northwest, north central, all together, put together in the north. And let's look at all the numbers put together in the south. So, how do you want to say, I don't care about what happened in the north?
Yeah, I don't care.
If you want to win an election as a political party, you must care. It is when you have the power, that is when you can be talking about something else.
Okay, so another interesting indices that people did not factor in this election is the fact that this election is similar for both the two titans. For example, this election is similar. So this is what it is. Atiku is from the northeast. Shetima is from the northeast. Basically, APC and PDP want to share the bulk of the votes in the northeast. And that comes to just about 12,820,000. So let's look at how many of these people even comes out to vote in the first place. But they want to share whatever is there. Now, Ashiwaji is from the north southwest. Okowa is from the south-south. The votes in the south-south comes to 15,299,374. The vote in the southwest comes to 18,332,191. But it's quite interesting that the southeast is the lowest on the table. What's the lowest? Still remains the lowest. Fewer people registered. Fewer people, which means even the registration was not taken seriously.
Don't forget that there's a peculiar situation with the Southeast as we speak.
Okay.
The IPOD are doing their things.
Okay.
And as we speak, they're still destroying INEC facilities, offices. Now, where will people get registered? Where will people go to register?
In some places.
Do you understand?
They actually took it to certain places. In Anambra over the weekend.
No. Who will go when these people are saying no election on our soil? So you can't totally, you see, we have a problem of ourselves, and I've been saying that. It has nothing to do with government or INEC. If my people, they're saying you cannot have election in our land, so how do you get one? And let's even start. How many states constitute the Southeast?
Five states.
Good. Yes. Now, if we talk about the 5 states, now probably a major 3 states. IPOD is doing their own thing.
Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo.
Now, people are afraid. There's so much fear, tensions, and all that. They can't even go out. In fact, they may not even know where to go to register. Why? Because the INEC offices they know are not existing, because they will go and bomb and destroy everything. So where will they register?
And that is the nomenclature.
So meaning that we as a people have disenfranchised our own people.
Okay, so they're killing their own people. They're maiming their own people.
Until we face reality.
They are destroying infrastructure, they're destroying their own infrastructure.
Okay, are they not destroying their own economy? When you insist that Mondays you sit at home and all that, people are not thinking out of the box.
Condemning it.
How is it affecting me here? So we need to put all these things into consideration.
The children miss certain subjects, important subjects in the examination because there was a seat at home.
Even the ones that tried to go to sit for that examination, they were dealt with. So, I mean, and that has a parallel effect.
Okay.
So you cannot, in simple terms, you can't compare the numbers you have in Southeast with numbers you will have in other. I mean, that is why some people will use the word they are just dots on a hole. Because they feel, okay, even if you don't come out, and don't forget that Southeast are more of PDP strongholds. They are the PDP, more of them are the PDP. But don't forget, PDP will not have 100%. There is no state that any political party, whether it's APC, whether it's Labour, whether it's that will have 100%. Some other parties, political parties, will have their votes because we have parties in all these parties are in all the states. So we cannot say, okay, this is. So you have to still take cognizance of that sharing formula. Even if you're talking about now, if you then have this and your people were disenfranchised, your people were denied from being registered, then how will they get voters card to then go and exercise their civic rights, voting for their own candidates? How?
It's quite interesting that we're talking about this morning, but that's not the only thing that happened over the weekend. Again, yesterday, the 1st of August, another one from ASU. So, ASU has been on strike for approximately, I think, 168 days. But then, yesterday, despite the fact that the federal government and all have met, and it looks as if from the language of ASU, the federal government has given them certain things and given a timeline to resolve the other ones. But then the ASU chairman, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, came out and said that they're giving the federal government another 1 month. This time around, they say they're extending their strike by 1 month, and they're giving the federal government the opportunity to spend that 1 month fixing the other issues that still need to be fixed. Parents across board have reacted to this, but we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss this in full.
Join us for a unique event founded on true Islamic principles. Witness a global community united behind one global leader. An international event uniting mankind. Tune in to MITV for exclusive coverage of Jalsa Salana United Kingdom 2022. The annual convention of Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Watch live coverage on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of August 2022 at the following timings.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For